Hello there, Mum. Where are we here today?
We're at the WA, or the West Australian Medical Museum, which is actually in Harvey House near King Edward Memorial Hospital. A lot of babies were born and still are born here, including myself many years ago. So let's come on inside and see what we can find. As you come into the entrance, you'll find a little bit of history about the Harvey House. Started off as Subiaco Industrial School, where there's boys' dormitories on one side, a room, and then the girls' dormitories and the kitchen at the end. Girls' dining room and the boys' dining room. As in these days, it was actually in 1914, the schools were separate. It wasn't co-ed where they mixed them. And the next photo shows the Subiaco Maternity Hospital, and the plan, once again, the dormitories and nurses' day room, and very interesting. I won't go into it all, but it's very interesting just to have a look at the plans and things like that. And the information they've got here is 1986, constructed as an industrial school for girls. The Subiaco Maternity Hospital was opened in 1916 as the King Edward Memorial Hospital for Women. 1932, the hospital spread to larger premises. Harvey House, named after Eleanor Harvey, the first matron, was used for a number of purposes. And in 1952, first X-ray department. And in 1985, it became the museum. So, very interesting.
This room that we are in now, the first room, we have the matron who was in charge of the early wards in the early 19th century. She would sit at the desk and was in charge of the childbirth and the time that you could come in and see. So, Mum.
Yes.
Did you want to have a talk about about the various scenes that we see in this room here, part here showing the typical ward?
Oh, the cots were just sort of very iron and all the lovely embroidered things that this one is lovely embroidery. I don't know whether you can get that on the
the word baby.
Baby and all this. It would have all been done possibly even by hand. Maybe the mothers might have done it while they were nursing their child, and then you've got the various photos, old equipment and the tools and things that were used. Even the uniforms, just things have changed so much.
They have. And over on this side we have a Aboriginal cradle carrying basket and various tools, and showing when to give milk, cold liver oil and other things, and early white scales. And as we continue to explore this room, we have various other pans and some early books. And in here we have something that most people would probably have, the actual early child books that you were given at birth. And this part of the room shows what it was like having a baby born at home, commonly known as child birth in your home. This next room number 2, it talks about war nurses and the time that nurses served during the war. With various books providing information and showing a Coolgardie tent hospital circa 1894, which would have been quite typical with tents set up as makeshift hospitals, especially during the war years. And we also have a typical medical basket, which would have had all your early medical tools and medicines of the day. And as we enter into the next room, this one here is talking about the Bush Medical, which would pay tribute, of course, to, what would the Bush Medical be more paying to, Mum?
The flying doctors, and just maybe the Aboriginals even. What would the Bush...
So there was fine sisters that would help out with various things, community care, even a air highway rollover. And there was various different aircraft that serviced in the Royal Flying Doctors in the early years to the modern ones that they have today. The Royal Flying Doctors service has played in the past a vital role to servicing the rural communities around Australia, and they continue today also with more modern equipment on board the aircraft, specially designed aircraft. And in the early days you had your wireless transmitters where they would generate power using your pedal power to provide the information to operate the radios. I believe this room we're in is the GP surgery display.
Yes, I was thinking that. Even sort of desks. I mean, it's great to be able to come to these museums and just see how things have changed over the years, and
the various different tools that we used.
Yes, and up here you've got things sort of like please ring and enter, waiting room, the hours operation, and little compartments for various stationery.
And also over here, various medical bags as well.
You're right, folks.
This next room, we have an example of a iron lung, which would have contracted and helped with breathing for those who were diagnosed with polio, which was a really bad disease outbreak that we had during the 1950s. Also in this room is also showing various early pharmacy instruments and also various medicines as well. And also leprosy as well can also be found as well, information about the bacterial infection. And continuing on to the next room, this one here is the example of operating theatre and other hospital departments. Physiotherapy of the early style with the various equipment and tools as well. Over here we have the operating theatre, showing an early style theatre light. Also we have various optometrists, the equipment used for testing eyesight in the early years. This next room is the dental surgery display, showing and early dental information of the dentistry in Western Australia. This next room is the radiology room, which would have been your room showing you various X-ray machines which have come a long way in technology today. Talking about how X-rays work, and the first X-ray department at King Edward Memorial Hospital.
You come into various museums like this one, and you just look around at the old equipment that they used, and some of it you could sort of say, oh, that looks scary, as to the modern times that they use now, and how long would it have taken to do various things and that.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed a little snapshot of the medical museum located in Subiaco at Harvey House. We've only given you a snapshot of what you can see, but there is a lot of really great information to read and see, and hopefully you might learn something new that you didn't know, or maybe even bring back early memories for you, depending on what age group you come from. And as I said, absolutely fascinating. Come on down and have a visit. And as we sometimes like to think and say, don't be afraid to explore your own backyard.
You might even find family history information in here as well.
Correct.